Welcome to Messy Mondays, where healthcare admin gets real, one mess at a time. I'm Brittany.
I'm Satasha, and we are co-owners of BCN Billing and Credentialing Network.
Today, we are going to talk to you about recredentialing. Recredentialing deadlines have a nasty habit of sneaking up, often because they live in that murky zone of far off until suddenly they are not. So, we are going to give you a breakdown of why that happens, what can go wrong, and how to protect yourself.
Credentialing can, like she said, sneak up on you really quickly because you're not thinking about it. You're just seeing patients going about your business and not thinking, hey, I need to check with the insurance company to make sure they got everything or they need anything. A lot of times, like recredentialing goes into a lot of different spaces, like updating your information. Like you get a new fax number, you get a new mailing address, you get a new service location, uh, anything, new phone number. You're giving other specialties within the practice. Like recredentialing is very important because it helps the insurance company stay up to date on what you got going on and making sure that that you're still in compliance to the original guidelines that they put out there when you originally credentialed with them.
Most pairs re-credential every 2 to 3 years, which sounds far off, but the exact due date isn't always clear. Um, Pairs might start requesting things in advance, but they're not consistent. And then the other thing we have seen happen for providers is if you had someone do your credentialing initially, it will go to them or notify them instead of you, the provider, and that creates a big mess.
Mess, huge mess. So when you're doing your initial credentialing, even in your CAQH, they have a spot that says credentialer for this, practice. If your credentialer changes or your information needs to change, that's who you need to tell the insurance company or update your CAQH so they know who to go to. But it's preferably for you to contact the insurance company. This person is no longer over our credentialing. Make sure that the correspondence go to this address. So for the most part, if we're not your biller as well, we're just doing your credentialing, we will put you down for your correspondence information. But if we're going to be doing and you sign a contract with us to do your billing, we'll keep it under us. That way we can keep everything rolling because money has to still consistently roll in. So we want to make sure any notifications that they send that we're hitting it right off the bat. Versus they're sending it to you, then you seen it 2-3 weeks later when we could have seen it right then and there and knocked out the issue or submitted the supporting documentation or whatever else that the insurance might have needed at that time. But it's always important to make sure that the person that is handling your administrative stuff, that's looking at it constantly, responding to emails, looking at your mail, stuff like that, that's the person that needs to be in your credentialing spot. So whether you contact the insurance company off top to let them know, but also make sure that your CAQH is updated.
But don't assume that CAQH updates all the pairs. It doesn't. CAQH is a repository, and payers still have to manually pull the info or prompt you directly. So just keep that in mind. Even if your recredentialing isn't due, you have like hidden expirations. So your licensure, DEA, board certifications, malpractice insurance, all those things can expire in the meantime. So make sure that you're updating that. The expirations can cause a credentialing file to get flagged or frozen, which goes hand in hand with your billing and things of that nature. So billing and credentialing go hand in hand. They work closely together. So you just got to keep that in mind, making sure all your stuff is in order.
That's correct. And another good thing to know when it comes to recredentialing, insurance companies will drop you without no, I mean, they will notify you, but they will drop you. So let's say they went and pulled your license. And this happens on a yearly basis. There's sometimes they don't wait the 2 to 3 years or the 5 years, depending on the insurance company. Every year, if you let's say you credentialed this year in January, your license expires June the 30th. If you don't renew your license and the insurance company comes in, let's say July, August, September timeframe and pulls your license and it says that it's invalid or it has expired, they will drop you from your contract because you're now no longer a quote unquote licensed provider in your specialty. And so, even though like you said, the recredentialing process might be way out, there are still small things that need to be done within that time, always. So, if your insurance changes, you need to notify the insurance company because the insurance that they have on file is the insurance that you originally gave them. So, when they run your liability insurance, because it's just like any other checks, some DMV, they randomly run your insurance to make sure that you still have insurance at odd times of the year. That's the same thing with insurance companies, medical insurance companies, because they want to make sure that you still have insurance, your license is still up to date. So those small things do matter, but they will drop you. Always stay in contact with the insurance no matter what's going on. Let's say you're a practice, you have a provider that's going out on maternity leave and you're going to give her so much time, or there's some personal issues going on with a provider and they're not at work right now. Contact the insurance companies and let them know, hey, they're still practicing, but they need to be put on hold, right now, because if you don't see patients within a certain time frame, they will drop you. They will drop you from your contract, especially if you're in a group setting, and they won't notify you about that particular provider within the group. They'll just drop them from your group contract. So it's always good to stay up on stuff and keep in contact with the insurance companies when those variables change within your organization or your private practice.
Back off what Satasha said. So, ways you can stay ahead of the game. Put a reminder in your calendar. When it's getting close, 6 months, 3 months in advance. Make sure you know your payer cycles. Like we said, most insurances do every 2 to 3 years for a recredentialing. But commercial payers might send less formal reminders or none at all. So you just got to make sure that, in your mind, even if you aren't sure, call the insurance company. They'll tell you. They can give you the exact date or they can give you the roundabout date, when you're due for recredentialing.
And some of them don't necessarily require redoing of paperwork. Some of them are automatic. So if you're staying up to date with everything, sometimes your recredentialing is a smooth, easy process. So that's why we emphasize stay on top of it. In the meantime, that way when recredentialing or revalidation is needed, you don't have no issues and you don't have to fill out the whole form all over again because you kept them updated and in the know of what's going on with your practice throughout that prior to the recredentialing expiration date.
Concludes today's Messy Monday. So just make sure that you stay aware of when you're recredentialing so it doesn't affect other things and just stay on top of that, definitely.
Wraps up another Messy Monday. We've tackled some tough truths. And remember, it's all about improving, learning, and becoming a better provider. Learn what's best for you and your practice and your patients. If you found this episode helpful, share it with your colleagues, your neighbors, your friends, all that. Join us next Monday for more insights on how to tighten up your practice game. Until then, stay cute, stay ethical, and take care of your patients.